There comes a moment in life when you decide, truly decide, that nothing and no one will ever have power over you again. A moment where you step into your own strength, not because the world has been kind, but because you have finally realized you are unbreakable. Pain has tested you. Betrayal has tried to define you. Doubt has whispered in your ear, telling you you're not enough. But those voices, they have no place in your mind anymore. Because today, you take back control. The strength isn't about avoiding struggle. It's about overcoming everything that was meant to destroy you. The world does not decide your worth. Fear does not decide your future. Woe you do. And once you decide that rest, nothing will break you. That no one will dictate your life. You become untouchable. So I ask you now, what will you do with this power? Will you let the past chain you, or will you walk forward, head high, eyes locked on your destiny? Let today be the day you say, no more hesitation, no more fear, no more limits. The time is now due. Rise, stand tall, move forward with unshakable strength. Nobody and nothing will ever hurt you again, because you won't allow it. Go out there and show the world who you are. And never, ever look back. Pain is inevitable. It shows up uninvited, in moments when we least expect it, challenging every ounce of strength we have. It arrives as heartbreak, as betrayal, as loss, as disappointment. It makes us question our own worth, our own resilience, and whether we are truly strong enough to endure. It forces us into dark corners of self-doubt and despair. But here is the truth. The pain that once tried to break you can become the force that builds you into something indestructible. The difference between those who rise and those who crumble under suffering is how they respond to pain. Some allow it to define them, dragging it like chains from the past into every part of their future. Others face it, acknowledge it, and then use it as a tool to sharpen their mindset, their focus, and their strength. Pain has no lasting power over those who refuse to be its prisoner. The moment you decide that pain is not the enemy, but the instructor, you transform into something greater, an unstoppable force. There is nothing more dangerous than a person who has mastered their suffering. When you take control of your pain, when you refuse to let it dictate your emotions, your choices, your future, you become unshakable. Every wound, every scar, every tear shed turns into a lesson, a source of wisdom, a reminder of what you have already conquered. Pain then stops being something that weakens you and instead becomes evidence of your survival, of your endurance, of your ability to overcome what was meant to destroy you. Most people fear pain because they believe it is permanent. They think suffering will last forever, that the weight of loss and heartbreak will never loosen its grip. But pain is temporary. It comes and goes, and only those who hold onto it too tightly continue to feel its sting long after it should have faded. Growth begins when you stop reliving old wounds, when you stop carrying the burden of what was and instead focus on what can be. The past has already happened. The only thing that matters is what you do next. Pain is the ultimate test of character. It reveals the depths of your resilience, your strength, your ability to adapt and move forward, Even when life tries to break you down, it strips away the distractions, the illusions, and forces you to see who you really are. And if you look closely, you will realize that pain does not define weakness. It defines growth. Those who embrace their struggles, who refuse to let challenges defeat them, will always emerge stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Emotional pain can feel unbearable at times, like a weight pressing against your chest, making it hard to breathe, hard to think. But even in those moments, you must remember this: you have survived every hardship you've faced so far. You have been tested time and time again, and yet here you stand. The pain that once felt unbearable became just another experience. Another lesson, another memory. It did not defeat you, and it never will. The mind is a battleground, and pain will always try to take control. It will convince you that you're not strong enough, that you're broken, that you're less than you once were. It will whisper lies designed to keep you small, afraid, unwilling to fight back. But those who refuse to surrender to their pain, those who refuse to listen to the noise that tries to discourage them, will always find victory. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have, and once you master it, pain loses its grip on you forever. It is easy to get caught in the cycle of suffering, to hold on to the memories of hurt, and let them shape your future. But pain should never be the architect of your life. It should never control your actions, your dreams, your relationships. Pain is a force, but it is not the ruler. You are the ruler. You decide what defines you, what moves you forward, what keeps you strong. And when you learn to wield pain as a tool rather than an obstacle, you step into your true power. True strength is not found in avoiding pain, but in facing it head on and refusing to let it dictate your destiny. Those who rise above their suffering are the ones who understand that pain is not the enemy. It is the catalyst. It is the fire that forges resilience, the challenge that sharpens determination. It is the process that leads to transformation. Every setback, every hardship, every moment of struggle is a step toward a stronger, wiser, more unstoppable version of yourself. There will always be moments in life when pain finds its way to you again. It will try to shake your foundation, to make you question your strength. But now you know the truth: pain does not control you. It does not decide your future. You are beyond its reach, beyond its power. And the moment you embrace your ability to rise above it, you become untouchable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Strength begins in the mind. Before the body can rise, before the actions can align, before success can be claimed, the mind must first be fortified. It is the silent battleground where battles are won or lost long before they manifest in reality. The unbreakable mindset is not about avoiding hardship. It is about meeting it head on, enduring its force, and walking away stronger. It is about refusing to be controlled by emotions, circumstances, or opinions that do not serve your purpose. It is understanding that resilience is a choice, and it is made every single day. The unbreakable mindset is built through adversity. No one is born invincible. It is something forged over time, through pressure, through tests that challenge your inner strength. The only way to truly become unshakable is to go through experiences that try to shake you. Hardship refines you, chisels away the weaknesses, reveals the core of who you really are. It teaches you lessons that comfort never could, forces you to develop skills that ease never required. It transforms you into someone who no longer fears challenges, but welcomes them as a means of growth. There are moments in life when doubt creeps in, when the weight of uncertainty threatens to break the foundation of everything you've built. These are the moments that define you. The strongest minds are not those that never feel fear or hesitation, but those that move forward despite them. Strength does not mean the absence of struggle. It means refusing to surrender to it. Every time you choose to rise, despite the difficulty, despite the doubt, you strengthen the very core of your being. You train your mind to trust your ability, to believe in your worth, to fight for what is yours. Control is at the heart of an unbreakable mindset. It is about recognizing what is within your power and refusing to waste energy on what is not. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your response. You cannot dictate the circumstances that life throws your way, but you can dictate how you rise to meet them. Those who have mastered their minds do not spend their days consumed by what they cannot change. They focus entirely on what they can, and in doing so, they shape their reality. The mind becomes their greatest weapon, their strongest ally, their most powerful tool. Resilience is built through repetition. It is not developed in a single moment, but through consistent effort. Through constant self-discipline. It is pushing forward even on days when motivation is absent. It is holding yourself to a standard that does not fluctuate with emotions or circumstances. True strength comes not from fleeting bursts of confidence, but from unwavering commitment to oneself. It is about standing firm in what you know to be true, refusing to bend under pressure, and never allowing setbacks to rewrite your purpose. The world will try to test you. It will push against your resolve, attempt to make you question your strength, make you feel small and insignificant. But those with an unbreakable mindset understand that external forces hold no power unless they are given permission to do so. They do not allow criticism to dictate their worth, nor do they let failure define their future. They understand that every experience, whether good or bad, is a stepping stone toward growth. Every setback is temporary, every obstacle is an opportunity to prove their resilience. The unbreakable mindset rejects victimhood. It does not allow blame or excuses to take up space in the mind. It does not dwell in the past, nor does it waste time on regret. It acknowledges mistakes, but it does not let them become a cage. Those who have mastered their thoughts know that life is forward, moving, that strength is developed through action, that waiting for circumstances to change is a weak man's game. They take ownership, they take control. They take responsibility for every decision they make, and in doing so, they create the future they want. Confidence is the natural outcome of an unbreakable mindset. It is not arrogance, nor is it built on empty words. It is earned through action, through experience, through the unwavering belief that one is capable of overcoming whatever comes their way. It is stepping into the world without apology, without hesitation, without the need for external validation. It is the kind of confidence that does not demand recognition, because it is rooted in truth. When the mind has been trained to withstand any force, confidence becomes effortless. It is simply the reflection of undeniable strength. The unbreakable mindset understands the value of discipline. It does not wait for inspiration, does not rely on motivation. It relies on habit, on structure, on purpose-driven decisions. It knows that greatness is not born out of sporadic effort, but out of consistency. It is the ability to hold oneself accountable, even when no one is watching. It is the capacity to endure discomfort for the sake of progress, to prioritize long-term success over short-term gratification. Those who have built this mindset know that discipline is freedom. The freedom to choose your own path, to dictate your own success, to never be controlled by weakness. Once the mind becomes unbreakable, everything else follows. The body adapts, the actions align. The results unfold naturally. There is nothing more powerful than a person who has mastered their own thoughts, who refuses to be dictated by fear or failure. There is no force greater than someone who has taken control of their own destiny, who has built resilience so deeply into their being that nothing and nobody can ever shake them again. The unbreakable mindset is not given, it is earned, and once it is built, it becomes the foundation for everything that follows. Control is not something handed to you. It is something you take. Life will present moments where it seems like everything is slipping away, where circumstances, people, and obstacles try to dictate your path. But power is never in their hands unless you allow it to be. The ability to claim control does not come from waiting for permission or the right timing. It comes from deciding, in this very moment, that you refuse to let anything outside of you determine your destiny. There is a false belief that control is external, that it belongs to the systems, the expectations, the opinions of others. But real control is internal. It lives within the decisions you make, the boundaries you set, the way you react to everything around you. It is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling yourself in the world. Because when you master your own mind, your own actions, your own emotions, nothing has the power to manipulate or sway you. You move with intention, not impulse. You rise with certainty, not doubt. People who do not claim control live their lives, dictated by fear. They wait for someone else to lead, to approve, to validate their choices. They hesitate when they should act, second guess when they should trust themselves. The problem with this is that hesitation kills momentum. And momentum is what drives success. The strongest individuals, the most unstoppable forces, understand that waiting will never serve them. They know control is a decision, and they make that decision every day. There will be times when control seems impossible, when life feels like it is throwing one storm after another. But even then, you have control over how you handle those storms. You control how much space you give to negativity, how much energy you allow fear to take from you. Strength is not found in perfect circumstances. It is found in imperfect moments, where you still choose to own your reactions. It is found when you refuse to be defeated by what is happening around you, and instead focus entirely on how you rise through it. Control is also about accountability. It is easy to blame circumstances, to say that things are the way they are, because of someone else, because of something beyond you. But accountability is what separates those who shape their future from those who wait for life to change on its own. The moment you take full responsibility for where you are going, and what happens next, you claim control in a way that cannot be shaken. You stop looking outward for answers and start realizing that they have always existed within you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you permission to take control of your life. This realization is not meant to discourage. It is meant to empower. Because once you accept that you are the only one responsible for what happens next, you free yourself from the limitations that were placed on you by doubt, by hesitation, by reliance on others. You step into a version of yourself that is untouchable, that no longer waits, that no longer asks for approval. You step into someone who does not need permission to rise. Control is also about boundaries. It is about deciding what you allow in your life, what you tolerate, what you refuse to entertain. When you take control, you stop giving energy to people and situations that drain you. You stop explaining yourself to those who will never understand. You stop engaging in cycles that keep you stuck. Boundaries are the ultimate declaration of control, because they tell the world what you will and will not accept. They make it clear that you choose your own peace, your own focus, your own success, over anything that does not serve you. People will challenge your control. They will tell you who you should be, what you should do, how you should live. They will try to convince you that claiming control is selfish, that it means you are pushing others away, that you are trying to dictate things that are out of your reach. But those who seek control over themselves understand that it is the foundation for everything. Because when you control your own direction, when you set the terms for your own growth, when you decide that no one else gets to write your story, you step into a life of absolute certainty. The world is chaotic, unpredictable, full of moments where you will feel like everything is out of your grasp. But control is not about eliminating uncertainty. It is about moving through it with unshakable certainty in yourself. It is about knowing that even when everything is unstable, you remain rooted. Even when the circumstances shift, you stay standing. Even when the noise around you tries to drown out your own voice, you refuse to be silenced. Claiming control means claiming your place in the world with unwavering authority, knowing that no external force can ever break what you have built within yourself. Taking control is the ultimate act of self-respect. It is declaring that you will not be a passenger in your own life, that you will not wait for things to fall into place, that you will not let anyone else dictate your fate. It is standing firm in the truth that you are the author of your story, the architect of your future, the only one responsible for how far you go. The decision is yours, the power is yours, the control is yours. And once you embrace that, once you truly own it, you become someone who moves through life with absolute certainty, unshaken by anything that tries to stand in your way. Excuses are the enemy of progress. They creep into the mind, convincing you that waiting is acceptable, that circumstances are not ideal, that the time is not right. But excuses are nothing more than barriers you build for yourself. Barriers that keep you from stepping into the life you are meant to live. Action is the only force strong enough to break through them. It is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve, between those who wish and those who do. Every excuse you allow to take root is another step away from the success that could be yours. The mind is powerful, but it can also be deceptive. It will justify inaction, rationalize hesitation, and make you believe that staying still is the safest option. But safety does not lead to growth. Comfort does not lead to transformation. Those who wait for the perfect moment will wait forever, because perfection does not exist. The only thing that matters is movement. Forward. Relentless, unstoppable movement. Action is the force that turns ideas into reality, that transforms potential into success, that separates those who talk from those who execute. Fear is often disguised as an excuse. It tells you that you are not ready, that you need more time, that failure is too great a risk. But fear is a liar. It thrives on hesitation, on doubt, on the belief that you are not capable. The only way to silence fear is through action. The moment you take a step forward, fear loses its grip. It cannot survive in the presence of movement, because movement proves that you are stronger than the doubts that try to hold you back. Action is the antidote to fear, the cure for hesitation, the weapon against every excuse that has ever kept you stuck. Excuses are easy. They require no effort, no commitment, no sacrifice, but action demands everything. It requires discipline, resilience, and the willingness to push through discomfort. It is not always convenient, and it is rarely simple, but it is always worth it. Those who choose action over excuses understand that success is not given, it is earned. It is built through consistent effort, through unwavering determination, through the refusal to accept anything less than progress. Every step forward is a declaration that excuses will no longer dictate your future. The world does not reward excuses. It does not recognize hesitation. It only acknowledges results. Those who take action, who refuse to be held back by doubt or fear, are the ones who shape their own destiny. They do not wait for permission, for approval, for the right circumstances. They create their own opportunities, forge their own path, and refuse to let anything stand in their way. Action is the ultimate declaration of control. It is the decision to take ownership of your life, to stop waiting, to start doing. Excuses drain energy. They consume time, steal motivation, and leave you feeling powerless. But action fuels momentum. It builds confidence, strengthens resolve, and creates results. The more you move, the more unstoppable you become. Every action, no matter how small, is a step towards something greater. It is proof that you are capable, that you are willing, that you are ready. And once you begin, once you commit to movement, excuses lose their power. They become irrelevant because action has already taken their place. There will always be reasons to wait, to hesitate, to delay. But none of them matter. The only thing that matters is what you do next. The strongest individuals, the most successful minds, understand that excuses are nothing more than distractions. They do not entertain them. Do not give them space. Do not allow them to dictate their choices. They act, they move. They push forward with relentless determination. They know that every excuse they reject is another step toward the life they are building. Action is a habit. It is not something you do once. It is something you commit to every single day. It is the decision to wake up and move, to push through resistance, to refuse to let anything stand in your way. It is the understanding that progress is built through consistency, through effort, through the refusal to accept stagnation. Those who master the habit of action become unstoppable because they no longer rely on motivation or inspiration. They rely on discipline, on commitment, on the unshakable belief that movement is the only path to success. Excuses will always exist, but they do not have to control you. They do not have to dictate your choices, your future, your potential. The moment you decide that action is your only option, everything changes. You stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop allowing doubt to hold you back. You step forward, you take control. You move with purpose. And in that movement, in that decision to act, you prove that nothing, not fear, not doubt, not hesitation, can stop you. Because action is stronger than any excuse that has ever tried to keep you small.